So I've just come back from a dream trip to Madeira. It was a family holiday, but I did do some exploring. We went on a few trips together as a family as well. If you haven't been there and you don't know where it is, I will link a description to Travel Madeira down there in the description. Not sponsored, but the place is amazing. Good food, good weather, fantastic people, and amazing scenery. It's phenomenal. And with me, I took the Insta360 GO3S as my main sort of travel, vlogging, exploring, adventure camera, and this thing really surprised me. Now, I knew this was good before I left, and it just came into its own on this trip. It really is fantastic. I've got a few things I want to talk to you about this camera. If you're thinking about picking this up, you will not be disappointed. I've got a few things on my list in front of me, but there's a few things I want to talk about first, which really actually surprised me about this camera. One was the battery life. I only charged this once in the 2 weeks I was in Madeira. I didn't use it every single day, but I didn't have to worry about the battery life. It's fantastic. I think it was up to 175 minutes they quoted battery life combined with the standalone camera and the action pod. So if you don't know, there's a battery in here which lasts up to 45 minutes standalone, and then you pop it in there. The action pod is basically a charging case for the camera, and then you can get up to 175 minutes. It was absolutely flawless. Like, I put it on charge after the first week, lasted the whole week, and it's still on about 40% now. I still haven't charged it up since being home for about 4 or 5 days. So yeah, great battery life. You will not be disappointed with the battery life. The second point was the storage. If you grab the 128GB, you won't have to worry about storage. I've still got footage on here from videos I shot before I went to Madeira, and then all the footage I shot in Madeira as well on here. I haven't deleted it yet, haven't reformatted it. It's more than enough for most scenarios. 128GB is quite a lot of storage, even though we are recording in 4K now on the GO3S. 128 gigs is, fine. I would recommend going for the 128 gigs because then you're covered. But there is a 64GB version as well. Thirdly, the size, portability. You can see it's a small camera. It's even smaller when you take it out of the action pod, and that's something we'll talk about in a second. Just really, really light, small. You got the magnetic mount, which mounts onto the tripod mount, or the magnetic pendant that comes with the camera in the box, or you've got the cap mount as well for doing POV shots. It's just so easy to use. And then the next point on top of that is the fact that you got the flip up screen. Although this thing is tiny, you got the flip up screen, and it turns it into like a mini point and shoot camera. So you remember the days of YouTube gone where everybody used either the G7X Canon, which was sort of a point and shoot camera, or the camera I'm actually using above it, which is the RX100 that had a flippy up screen. This is, it's got a flippy up screen. It's 4K like those other point and shoot cameras, but it's sort of a quarter of the size. Yeah, the size, portability, it's great for travel. It's light, it fits in the little pouch. It fits in like a fanny pack if you're wearing one of those. It's easy to transport. You don't really have to worry about carrying it around. I even had it on the tripod and just stuck it in my shorts pocket when I was walking around. It's brilliant. It's tiny, it's powerful. I love it. The fact that it was waterproof is the next thing I want to talk about. The waterproofness is actually in the standalone camera, so that is waterproof, I think down to 30 feet standalone. This is sort of weather resistant, but it's not waterproof, so don't get jumping in the swimming pool or the sea with this. Just make sure you've got this mounted onto the tripod mount, because obviously this is magnetic on the back as well, and it actually magnetizes to the same mount as the action pod does. So that's what I did when we went on a boat trip. I put this on the mount, I jumped in the ocean with this standalone camera just on the tripod and recording some bits and bobs. So that is what I used for the water sports. You can buy a separate case, which is a dive case, to fit the whole camera in there to extend the battery life. So if you're doing scuba diving or snorkeling or something, I recommend getting that accessory so you can put the whole device inside of this waterproof case, and then you can do other more advanced things in the water. The next bit is it's 4K now. The GO3, which they do still sell, is 2.7K, and that was the only real complaint about that camera, and that's where the GO3S has the advantage. It's got 4K footage. It looks brilliant, it looks vibrant, it looks punchy, it looks like an action camera, but it's more of a vlogging device. That's what they're marketing towards, but it still looks fantastic. The image is brilliant, everything's in focus, there's no sort of dodgy warping. There are different field of views that you can use, but the image just looks great. That's the thing I can say about it. And then you've got 4K time lapse on top of that as well. And if you want to shoot some slow motion, you've got 2.7K at 120 frames per second or 1080p at 240 frames per second. So you've got that option as well. Compared to other cameras on the market, it's just as good as everything else you can buy. 4K is the standard really what we're looking for now these days. So the 4K quality is fantastic. Lastly is once you've filmed all your footage, you've gone traveling and you've done what you want to do with this camera and you've recorded everything, you can use the app to actually download the footage on. You can use the app to use a shot lab to create different effects like AI warp or sky swap, or there's different things in the app. The app is brilliant. You can then download the footage if you want to onto your device, and then you can delete the footage and start again. So the app is fast, it's powerful. It's really good for editing the footage if you want to add little different clips. There's AI auto edit. There's loads of stuff. I've done a whole video on the Insta360 app, which I'll link down below if you want to check it out, or up here as well. Overall, you've got the fantastic 4K quality. You've got the fact that it's a small camera, the size, the portability, the ease of use. You've got the battery life, which is just unbelievable. It really shocked me actually how good the battery life was. The fact it's waterproof with the standalone camera, or with a dive case, you've got the whole unit as waterproof. The 128 gigabytes of internal storage is great, just more than enough than anybody can use. The flip-up screen is brilliant for vlogging, and that's a must-have for vlogging situations. The fact that it's got magnetic mounting system not only for the action pod but for the standalone camera as well, with all the built-in and included accessories, and the app to top it off. It's just an all-in-one great travel package. And if you were going abroad this year on a family holiday or an adventure or backpacking or hiking or whatever you're doing, I would fully recommend this device. It is absolutely nearly perfect. There's not much I can say about this that I wouldn't recommend to friends and family, for instance, when they ask me what camera would you recommend, and this is the one at the moment. This is one of my favorite devices so far of 2024. That may change when other things come out in the future, but for the moment this is a camera that I'm just using most at the moment. It's brilliant. So that's it for this video. I hope it helped. If you've got any more questions about the GO3S, let me know in the comments down below. If you do want to grab one, there's an affiliate link in the description down below, but this video is not sponsored by Insta360. This is just my experience of using this since launch date and extensively for like aforementioned travel situation and for lots of other situations as well. It's a really phenomenal device. Okay, that's it for this one. If you like these kind of videos, make sure you do subscribe, press the bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Check out this video up here if you like these kind of videos, and you might like this one as well. I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.